Welcome folks back to more Soviet Strike. We're going to attempt Caspian campaign. How we're going to do it is I'm just going to do one long recording session for the whole mission, and then I'll split that up into relevant parts. Don't know what I was thinking last time, but anyway, let's move on. Let's figure out what this Caspian mission is, and I'm prepared to sit here. It's nearly 3 PM right now. So I'm prepared to sit here until 3 AM to get this mission done.
Iraqi forces are invading southern Russia, and it looks like they're converging. I just don't know where. Uh-oh, yes I do. An ex-Soviet chemical weapons plant.
Good. We've been hoping for another crack, General Sadisivak.
No doubt he will use those weapons, and Shadowman will be sure Moscow gets full credit.
Commander, you'll have allies all around that mountain fortress. But if it falls, there'll be nothing but sand between that madman and chemical weapons. And remember, if you do not think, you will not win.
Alright, first off, skip ahead if you don't want to see all this information and stuff like that, because we're going to go through all this information first. Firstly, our first mission is light tanks. Knock out the advancing light tank forces. This fast-moving armored formation is equipped with surviving Iraqi vehicles. If unopposed, they will drive through passes 3 and 7, posing the most immediate danger to the chemical plant.
The first order of business is to slow the immediate threat. Buy time to think and react. Destroy their mobile supplies to bog down the large formations, then squeeze them through the terrain single file. Finally, use the locals to tag team them in the passes.
If this antique tank was a person, it'd be playing shuffleboard in a retirement home. Nevertheless, approach with caution, Chief. It'd be a big-time embarrassment to be killed by a metal dinosaur. Big, slow pop guns. Taking them out is real simple, at least in theory. Now you get in front of them, and your Apache is a flying coffin. So eradicate these vermin while they looking the other way. I recommend using a hit and split attack, Chief. These puppies grow through missiles like whales grow through plankton. If you can't get to them, nail the ammo truck they got hanging around. You don't have to worry about an empty gun, no matter how big it is. These SAMs are sluggers, and at first they got home field advantage. So wait until they finally stray off their supply base, then 3 shots, and they're out. As with any truck, this one's only good for target practice, but these boys provide a whole fireworks show when they go up. Fun to watch, but not fun for anybody in the orchestra seat. Man, these hunks of junk should have been turned out to pasture a long time ago. Shoot them and put them out of their misery. They call this thing Zeus. because it fights like the wrath of God. Do unto it before it does unto you. And he who fires first wins. Man, this reminds me of a big egg carton. Crush the outside, and you get an omelet inside. A scrambled omelet. This thing is slow and dumb. Even dumb if there isn't radar around. It fires 4 missiles at once, and with 4 tries, even this turkey can't miss. So don't waltz in front of it, woof it from behind. These are the enemy's forward fielders. Knock them out and he's fighting blind. Just boink the turret if you're low on rockets. Some clerk accidentally shipped our armor crates to the third world. Problem is, they don't have any use for them, so they've been taking up space in the bazaar. Cruise in there and haggle a winch discount. The Super Apache is equipped with an onboard distillery for local petrol. Plays havoc with the engine, but if you're desperate, this thing will probably run on lighter fluid. If you desperately need some ammo, you can always borrow it. Be careful though. The local homebrew doesn't pack the wallop of ex-Soviet stuff, but it will do in a pinch.
Deploy Ahmad's relatives to drop points, and their loyal troops will soon follow. The skill is in getting the right relative to the right place. They have a 2 millennia-old family feud going on. If the wrong relatives cross paths, they'll fight each other instead of Savak.
We didn't design the Super Apache for tank transport, but you can do it if you want to move friendlies around. Just flap and hoist. Don't try this at home, kids.
Ahmad is an ex-SAS commando who's been on a lot of missions for us. This is the first time we've cut him loose on his own home turf. He's related to a number of people here, including Savak. Therefore, you can assume he harbors a strong personal agenda. Let's hope it's the same as ours.
To understand what is happening here, you must understand the history of my family. We have been at war since time began. Our lives would be nothing without war. We fight to live, we live to fight. Sometimes we die. Part of our problem is location. Our mountains are in path of every invader who wants to cross from south to north. Therefore, when invaders come, we have choice, to fight or submit. And that choice is not a choice. This is my sister Delilah. Like the female fox, she is the most vicious of all my relatives. That is why my evil uncle Savak fears her the most. My other uncle Nimrod fears her too, for he once tried to marry her. She was so disgusted that she swore to kill him if she ever saw him again. You may believe this threat or not, but believe me, Uncle Nimrod does. Uncle Nimrod is what you in America would call playboy. Never is he seen without a beautiful woman clinging to his arm. In war, Uncle Nimrod's passion is not matched by his skill. But He has good tanks and troops who share his lust for glory. Nimrod is vain and arrogant. His costume is of his own making. For these reasons, we know him as Strutting Rooster. Nimrod fears Delilah and he hates my cousin Bessus. Because Bessus once took a woman from him. He had challenged Bessus to a duel, but Bessus rejects him. If he sees Bessus, he will kill him. I have little to say about Bessus, because Bessus himself says little. He is a quiet man who has settled down to become a simple farmer. We laugh at this. Who would farm when there are men to be killed? We call him the grain stalk. He calls us nothing. He simply tends his crops.
Iraqi forces are invading southern Russia, and it looks like they're converging. I just don't know where. Uh-oh, yes I do. An ex.
Savak is a bull in a china shop. If he gets weapons of mass terror, every tin pot dictator and prancing peacock is going to invade their neighbor, thus aiding and abetting the Shadowman. Experts are divided as to if Savak is a true religious fanatic or whether he creates visions to serve his political ends, as did the madman you might remember from an earlier strike campaign. Whether he is a religious zealot or cynical manipulator, no one doubts he is willing to fight to the last drop of everybody's blood but his own.
Militarily, that's vital. Savak is a coward. He'll be nowhere near the line of battle. He hides among his elite democratic guards until he can ride in triumph when victory is assured. The many films we see of him acting brave in battle are, in fact, stage photo shoots. We are grossly outnumbered, outgunned, and outflanked, but we have two things going for us: the terrain and the locals. The battlefield is jagged mountains ripped with deep gorges and valleys. Rock slides will slow the enemy advance. And the locals are as rugged as the mountains they live in. They are defending their homeland and will fight to the death. If you master the terrain and our allies, we just might have a chance. You know the tenets of air-land battle: initiative, depth, agility, and synchronization. They've got the initiative and depth. We've got the agility. Synchronization is what you can create with Ahmad's relatives.
You neglect one fact, Earl. I have access to StrikeNet, and with it, I shall strike you.
He's not kidding. He's downloading the coordinates of all key battlefield locations to his rocket artillery.
He might have access to the net, but he doesn't have access to your mind, Commander. Think, and you will win.
Okay, we're finally done with all that. Now, I've changed my mind. While all that was going on, I've changed my mind. I'm just going to do half-hour recording sessions and then just put them up as a video. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So our first mission, let's get into it. Destroy these light tanks. Now, what we want to look for is the fuel truck dead, and the first, behind the second row, bang in the middle. Let's go take out this fuel truck if we can. And we'll try to not absolutely suck.
Good work. Getting their fuel will slow them down.
That's that done. Now let's go work our way from the... Actually, let's go from the back, from the rear. And work our way to the front. Oh, can't... Oh, I've reached the end. Right, that's why. Damn it. Where am I? Yeah, here. This is okay, very, very bad. Why can't my... I'm trying to go to the right, but I can't because... Okay, this is a failure. Because it's so close to the bottom of the map, I can't go right. Okay, this has been grand. Yeah, BRB. Okay, let's try this again. We're gonna go for the same thing. We're gonna go for the fuel. First line.
Good work. Hitting their fuel will slow them down. Keep it up. You squashed him like a small bug.
There's so many. Thankfully, there seems to be armor drops. We don't have to worry too much. Like, we can afford to sacrifice some armor. What we can't afford to sacrifice is attempts. Right, armor time. I'm not even gonna make the... Yeah, I'm not even gonna make it.
That's what we call a NDE.
Ah.
Death experience.
Alright, but we just want to finish the first mission. Right, what I need is ammo now. I'm out of ammo. Oh, it's so far away. And there's still so many of them. Like, I've barely touched them. Like, they're numbers. So many. Right, okay. Man, okay, this is gonna be black. This is gonna be a difficult one, I imagine. I've got a little bit... Oh, we've got some armor here, but I don't want the armor. Right. Gotta remember that there's armor there, though. Right, I think... Oh, yeah, I should come over.
The enemy has reached the first passes. They will overrun our armor drops and frontline defenders shortly, so act now.
I'm trying. Oh, I should stop them from shooting down the blowing up the armor. This is quite insane.
Smart relatives found armor crate and moved it here. We must thank them.
Right. Oh, why do I always pick these insanely difficult games to play on the channel every time? Nimrod demands pickup.
This is foolishness. We can do nothing while the enemy swarms around our homes. If you do not deploy us soon, we shall act for ourselves.
Nimrod demands pickup. I'm kind of busy, Nimrod. I don't even know where I'm gonna pick you up. Oh, this is so bad.
Why do you let us wither here? Savak's jackals stalk my land, and our forces are trapped at my front gate. Unleash me like a lioness upon her prey.
Okay, this is not going good. Oh. I think I've done wrong. Yeah, we lost the armor repair somewhere. But yeah, this is pretty difficult. Love it. Love it. Love it. Every time. Ah, frick, forget it. We are not winning this. Finally managed to whittle all these light tanks down to the very last few, but the mechanized infantry is all the way there, and the heavy tanks are all the way there, and the artillery's just not moved. The scouts, they're basically through. Oh, how the hell do I do this mission? It doesn't show me where these OPs are. Shows me how many assets I've got remaining. Right, Right, okay, let's just try and finish off this first mission. Not gonna work. Okay, BRB.